Alright, guys, the blasphemy of the Holy Spirit. It is the only unforgivable sin. Alright, so I'm going to do my best, and my best will probably come forth later in explaining that unforgiveness is a thing. Um, the blasphemy of the Holy Spirit is unforgivable. Um, so we're going to jump into it, and I've pretty much already explained to you in some of the other most recent videos that I've done about the blasphemy of the Holy Spirit. And what it is basically what Satan had done to Eve in the garden, and it was obstructing righteousness and introducing something other than what the Most High God had ordained. And what it did was obstructed truth and introduced lies, which means confusion entered into humanity. And Babylon is confusion. It is confusion by mixture. That is what the interpretation of Babylon is. You can read this in Revelations 18, and you can look it up in the Strong's Concordance. The word Babylon means confusion by mixture. And what happened was Satan introduced the word rather into God's ordination, which produced sin. The only reason sin has its strength because of the law. The law of God is the strength behind sin. Because, guys, we got screwed up, okay? Like, we got genuinely screwed up because of a supernatural, very powerful entity decided that he wanted to be like God, right? So, which is, according to the law of cause and effect, is completely impossible. So what had to happen was sin. So what he did is he introduced rather, or choice, or decision making into the truth, which opens your eyes unto what is good and evil. Which means that humanity is in a war, manifesting this out from themselves. And that is why we have war and death and sickness, because we are literally in a type of circular thing, just going down a drain until we are able to take off the flesh, which is what sin has been condemned to, okay? Because of what Jesus Christ did for us, right? Again, guys, continuing to give choice and people options when you are in a position of power, saying that they can do this or that, and one of these ideas is going to be good, or maybe the other idea is going to be good for you. Knowing what you're doing by offering them a choice, it is the unforgivable sin. It's the unforgivable sin. It's the sin which cannot be forgiven. Okay. But I want to let you know that it's not you who does these things. It is sin that was introduced into us. Okay. So, guys, Jesus says you need to die to yourselves. And you need to die to yourselves. Because God is the one who's going to live. And unfortunately, guys, if you're going to die, what is, was, and will be already is. Is it not? It means you're already dead, guys. There's one truth. In a world of decision making and choices and planning and just watching you fall flat on your face and all your decisions and choices and planning, knowing that you can't fucking do any of it because what is will be. It's God telling you that He's the one in charge and showing you that it's unforgivable. It can't be correct, guys. What is will be, and you're supposed to walk in that, and that is the narrow path. It is the decisions, the planning. It's the broad path to destruction. Um, if you want to understand and be consoled by Jesus Christ, from what I'm telling you, you can go read Matthew 6, the end of it, towards the about halfway through the chapter. God says that He is going to take care of us. All we have to do is seek Him in His kingdom of righteousness. We don't need to try to take care of ourselves. It's going to be miserable, guys. Oh my God, it would be miserable. Because sin was placed into us, into the flesh, into the flesh. All right? I think it's Romans 7 or 6. You can read about how when you come to the realization that God is God, it is no longer us who sins. It is sin in us that sins. So you can read that too. And then you'll begin to understand that Jesus really came as God in the flesh to show us and condemn sin to the flesh. The way back to the Most High God was through Him. And it is. There's no doubt about it. This life is not what a lot of people think it is. People are making themselves miserable because they don't know the truth. They live in ignorance. In the Old Testament, the book of Hosea, it says, "My children are killed because of the lack of knowledge that they have." It's the only reason they're killed. See, we live forever because God is God, and He ordained all things to be the way that they are.